go. This is Audi's new little baby, and you might think that they've just slapped a boot on the Sportback, and there you have it. Well, no. Almost every panel is different, although it does come with the same engine lineup, and it's still on the MQB chassis. So, welcome to Hungary and Budapest. This isn't Budapest that I'm in right now. This is actually just outside Budapest. I'm about an hour from it and I'm still in Hungary. Hungary is massive as a country. It's absolutely huge, and this is the A3 Saloon. And I do apologise for having just a GoPro with me and a small mic, because we had to come here on Ryanair. And that meant weight restrictions, size of bag restrictions, and so many restrictions that I couldn't fit the SLR in with all my kit. So I had to kind of really trim it down to just a small camera, GoPro, and a small mic. This is a 1.4 TSI. I came down here in a 2-litre diesel, and I've also driven the 1.6 TDI. There isn't really a remarkable difference in the kind of car and the way it drives. There's not a huge difference between all of them. I have to say the 1.4 TSI is very quick off the mark compared to the 2-litre diesel, which the diesel is very good, but in actual fact we got to kind of test sort of 0 to 60 times against each other and found that the 1.4 TSI is actually nearly as quick as the 2-litre diesel. One thing I did notice is that this one actually has a 7-speed S-tronic gearbox, whereas the 2-litre diesel had a 6-speed.
Please turn left after 250 meters.
Thanks. It did actually have a different gearbox in it.
Now turn left.
Oh, here? Right, here. I'm with you. There's a nice bit of brisk acceleration in the car when you put your foot down. It's not in dynamic mode. I'm about to switch to that somewhere, if there is one. Is there a drive select somewhere? Drive select, there we go. Press the button here. Auto, so we want dynamic. Right, and we want manual shift as well, thanks. Got a nice buzz on it, really has got a nice little buzz there to go with it. Yes, yes, it is typically Audi, slightly understeery, slightly oversteery because it's got a fat arse on it now, but actually I think that this is actually a nicer looking car than the A3 hatch. We're taking a bike! That's a bike? Not a bicycle, I can tell you that. It's sort of a moped thing to pedal and make the machine go. It is loads of horsepower, really lots of kind of grunt that goes with it, good noise too. Typically
Please turn left after 400 meters.
Typically it does feel as if you're playing a PlayStation game with just clicking a button to change the gear. I do prefer a kind of bang into a manual, you know. I really do. I like that kind of manual feel, but then the DSG does such a good job at getting the car along the road in a hurry that, you know, there's no other reason to have a manual. Didn't know what gear it wanted to be in there, it just wanted to be in every gear there. Despite the saloon boot, the A3 still has the same wheelbase as the hatchback, so it's looks and boot space that are big changes. These are also the most important part of car ownership. It's very important that you can look out the window and be happy with the car in the driveway. Perhaps it's the most important part. Maybe you could discuss that in the comments. when you're driving along the road and you see yourself in a window, you know, reflected back, and you go, oh, it's a cool car, and I'm driving it. That's kind of 85% of ownership, of actually enjoying the ownership of a car. And so for me, it would be Saloon that I would pick as the car I want. Plus it kind of suits my needs as well. Obviously having 2 small kids, I need a kind of bigger boot. This boot is actually very big. There's not much difference in the boot space between it and an A4, you know. It's got a bigger boot than an Audi A3, for instance. The ones you need to be looking at are 1.4 TSI and 1.6 litre diesel.
You will reach your stopover after 350 meters.
Stopover? I'm not stopping. Keep going. Rock on. Hungary is beautiful, by the way. Budapest is absolutely gorgeous. 2 cities, of course.
You have reached your stopover.
Yeah. Buda and Pest, as they call it over here. 2 different sides of a city. One's kind of hilly and one's absolutely flat as a pancake. But traffic is dire. Okay, if you're coming here in a car, don't park on the exterior of the city and come in a bus or something, okay, or one of the trams, because traffic is up the wazoo in the middle of the centre. It really is. It's absolutely ridiculous. It literally, to cover half a kilometre this morning to come down and get a test car, it took us in a bus 40 minutes, 35 minutes. I could have walked it in 10.
Turn left after 350 meters.
Yes, dear. I will now in a second, right? Right? Here we go. You can feel the grip trying to catch me there as I go around the corner. The drive select trying to cut into auto mode or into dynamic mode as I put my foot down. You know, there is a lot of kind of wheel spin and extra power going here and there. That's some of that's to do with the road surface in Hungary, which, well, let's be fair, is not brilliant, if I have to admit it. It is fairly bumpy here. Not that I mind bumps. We're testing suspension. Of course the Audi pushes out the road every single time. They all do. So for me in Hungary, just somewhere outside of Budapest, I have no idea what town I'm in at the moment.